Welcome to Dean Brennan's press conference ahead of our rearranged National League fixture at home against Chesterfield. I'm delighted to be joined by Jacob Ransom of the Brent and Kilburn Times. Jacob, would you care to ask Dean some questions ahead of Tuesday's game, please, mate?
Of course, obviously, Dean, I suppose first and foremost, start off with the weekend and a first National League win for the club since 1988. Probably pleased to get that one out of the way now with a terrific performance.
Yeah, I thought it was a good performance. We played in the front foot. It was a really entertaining game. I watched the back Saturday night. I watched the back again this morning. Some great goals. Don't like to be giving up the amount of chances we gave up within the game, to be honest with you. But it was one of them humdinger of a game. So Wrexham obviously contributed towards that. They played really attack-minded. It's the first time they've gone and actually started with two up tops. The rest of the time they played 4-3-3. So they're obviously looking at us and thinking a centre half and them kind of areas they can get at us. So but it was a good game. I'm just delighted for everybody that's associated with the football club with the victory. That's for all them. So my job now is to make sure we're focused on Chesterfield.
And I suppose that will build some confidence now that you've got that win, and you can use that in this match against Chesterfield for sure.
Yeah, look, it's going to be a tough game. You know, they're really big physical side, well organised, very experienced side. They've no real kids within their ranks. You know, they've got a real big physical aspect to the game. Very, like I say, very well organised defensively. So it's going to be a tough task. And the Tuesday night games are the ones that are going to challenge us the most. Lads are in work today. Lads are in work tomorrow. I suppose Chesterfield will travel down. They put a train today. So I think that does give you a slight advantage. And to be honest with you, these kind of games are free games for us. Chesterfield are expected to be at the top end of this division. So, like I said last week against Stockport, these ain't the fights we need to be picking. But we have to be competitive. And we have to make sure we play on the front foot. And we'll continue to play the way we try to play, which is attack-minded. And it's going to be a difficult game.
Yeah, and like you said, they're an experienced team and very physical. One man, I suppose, in particular is the big striker in Tom Denton. I suppose you're going to have to nullify him, and that could be a job for Jack Corley, who come on Saturday and done a good job, by all accords.
Yeah, Jack had a decent performance. Obviously, it's his debut for us, so it was a decent performance. Well, it wasn't his debut, tell a lie, because he come on the game before. But look, Tom's one of them. Tom Denton for them is one of them. You've got to stop the supply to him. He feeds off crosses. He feeds off diagonal balls. So it's our job to make sure tactically we stop every cross we can as much as we can. We're not going to be able to stop them all. We don't give away cheap fouls. He's a real handful. So we make sure we stop his supply, and that'll be our front line's job and our midfield's job and our full-back's job to make sure that we limit them to as little crosses as possible.
And is there any sort of update on the injury front going into that game? I know Michael Phillips come off on Saturday. Michael
Phillips won't be available for selection. We'll find out this evening. All injured players are in tonight over at Optima. All the injured players, so we'll find out that tonight. And then Connor Stevens has an abscess today. We were hoping to have Connor available for selection tomorrow, but he's got an abscess on his tooth or in his mouth area. So I don't think we'll have him either. So it's a bit frustrating, to be totally honest.
Yeah, and I know you touched on it briefly about the Wrexham game, perhaps letting them have too many chances. Do you think that's maybe a pro and con of having such attacking fullbacks? Obviously, they're deadly going forward, but it can leave you a bit vulnerable at times.
Yeah, look, we have to defend from the front. You know, I believe in defending from the front. Collectively, all 11 players need to defend. So that's how I believe. Look, at the end of the day, if they were pumping a few long balls in our box and we didn't pick up the seconds, we didn't stay with our runners, we had a little discipline within that. And it is a criticism of us as a team because we can't let that happen. And we sort of, at times, we got away with it. Even though we were very good technically with the ball, I thought we were very strong, very fluent in our play. And we scored some fantastic goals. So they're all the positives. So can we keep it a little bit tighter at the back? And, you know, when we win a 4-2, 2 clear goals ahead in the last 5-10 minutes, we need to manage the game better. So our game management's got to be much better within the group. So these are all things that we're all trying to learn because we've got a very young side. It's not as if we're bringing on really experienced defenders or centre-halves when we're winning 4-2. We have a young team. So, yeah, we'll keep learning. We'll keep learning on the job.
And I know we've touched on it in the last few press conferences about loan signings. Is there any sort of update on that or still just waiting to see?
we've inquired for two players. They've both been rejected. They're in and around our first teams in the championship club. So it's difficult. It's a difficult market for us at the minute. So we really just want to find out about obviously our funding situation. I think that's more important. What kind of funding we're going to get from this lottery fund. So that's important to the football club and how we pay the players that we've got with us now. So hopefully it'll be positive news. But we'll keep searching, we'll keep looking. I've been on the video all day today. I started work at 7 o'clock this morning and I'm still on it now.
Stuff. And I suppose one of the new signings in the summer was Dan Wishart, but we haven't seen any of him as of yet. Is that due to injury or?
Jacob Mendy's been outstanding. You know, there we've got Kenan Lewis, Jerome Slew. They've been outstanding. They're keeping Dan out of the team at the minute. So it's up to him now when he gets the opportunity to make sure he's ready, keep his fitness levels topped up. That's our job to try to help with that. But I just think Mendy's been top class.
Yeah, and I suppose although looking to add to the squad, it's probably nice to have some options like Dan Wishart and obviously Danny Parish and even sort of young Charlie Hughes waiting in the wings in case they get their chance.
Yeah, we really wanted to get Danny Parish into the 16 the other day, but when we looked at things, we knew sort of Michael Phillips was playing with an injury, so we needed to bring another defensive player on the bench, which was Ashley Charles on this occasion, and obviously Jack Cawley. So we're just making sort of tactical selections. Tomorrow will be the same. We'll need a bit of defensive core because of the injury situation. So we'll see who's going to be in the 16 and who's not. But I'm hoping, I'm praying that Connor Stevens is back sooner rather than later.
Yeah, and I know going off that point of view, I know you said the other week you're not sure why there isn't seven substitutes at this level, and I suppose you'd love to have that luxury right about now with a few players just sitting in the stands waiting. Yeah,
I think it's just stupid. You know, if we're following the EFL's lead, which apparently we are, and we're an elite football league or division, you know, we should have 7 subs like everybody else. But I don't know why. I don't understand why it's not, you know. But it is what it is, so we just get on with it.
And I know you said about the Chesterfield game and the midweek games almost being a bit of a free hit. Are you going to look at it in that sense through the season, that you're going to take them as a free hit and just try to get as many points as you can in those ones?
I just think the big clubs, like the pressure's on Chesterfield, that ain't on us. We've 4 points. I think they've got 3 points, is that correct? So far, 4 games. So, you know, the pressure's on them. You know, we've got nothing to lose. We're in this division and the whole division's a free hit for us, let's be honest. So, you know, we'll look forward to the game. Like I say, it's going to be a total different contrast to the Wrexham game because they're a much more physical team, Chesterfield. A big side, got a lot of experienced manager. So it's going to be a different test for us and see how well we can cope with that physical aspect of the game. These will be one of the most physical teams in the division.
And I suppose that's one thing as a manager and as a club you've learned about so far, perhaps more than the other levels you've managed or coached at, the difference in every sort of team you've come up against so far.
Yeah, and a lot of the teams have changed their style or changed their system. I wouldn't say style, but system to affect what we do. So there's more tactical changes. Like this evening in our Zoom meeting, we will walk 20-25 minutes on a video of how Chesterfield play and how we can hurt them tactically and how they'll hurt us or try to hurt us. So the 3-5-2 on Saturday against Chesterfield, and they come to us and play the 4-3-3 system. So, you know, when we play Dagenham, they play 4-2-4 basically to stop us playing out. So there's no poor managers in this division. They're all good managers, and you're researched properly, and people are paid to research it. You've got chief scouts, you've got opposition scouts. So there's everything in this division. We haven't got the luxury of, but that's what we're enjoying, and we deserve to be at the level.
Most definitely. That's brilliant. Thanks from me, Dean.
Not top man, Jacob. No sweat.
Just a couple from me, Dean. Obviously, Chesterfield have had quite a difficult start with the first 4 games, and they've only beaten Woking out of the 4. Just tell us what you've made of them so far this season, despite the results.
A very competitive side, immense experience in central midfield in Weston and Smith. And they're a good side, you know. They went to Torquay, and obviously Torquay are top of the table. They've only lost 2-1. They played Stockport the other day on the telly, and they only lost 2-1 as well. And we know how good Stockport are. We've seen that ourselves. They obviously caught Woking on a good day for them. So they are a good side, and we're under no illusions. This is obviously there is confidence. We're in our camp after a victory, but we got to make sure that we perform better than what we did Saturday defensively. That's very important. We've got to be more disciplined in our performance, and we're going to have to step the standards up again defensively if we're going to get anything from the game.
And obviously Chesterfield had quite a nightmare pre-season. I think they only played 3 games, and unfortunately with the postponement on the first day, we would have had quite an advantage on that front. Do you think that advantage is gone, or do you still think that we could potentially exploit that still? It's gone.
Now, the advantage gone. Now the manager's got nearly everybody to select from. They train today. We're not training today. We've got a Zoom call, so everyone's going to be in the living rooms or kitchens or whatever doing a Zoom session. So it's a different ball game when it comes to full-time clubs. You know, so that advantage is gone. I thought it was frustrating to have the first game called off for waterlogged pitch, which was very frustrating because I felt that was a good opportunity for us to play them because they only played three or four pre-season games. And we played a lot of pre-season games, which I felt was the right thing to do to get that rustiness out of our players, even though the results weren't great in pre-season, but it got the rustiness out of our players. So yeah, I think that advantage is definitely gone. I think it's advantage to them tomorrow. And like I say, we've got lads that are going to be in walk tomorrow all day and then got to go and play a football match.
And we obviously mentioned pre-season there, and a few of our starters in the last few games didn't have a full pre-season with us, the likes of Dyer, Benyu, Wakefield. Just how do you think they've fared as well in the last couple of weeks? Yeah,
I think Alex has been outstanding. I think what I like about Mundo as well is he's very important. He always wants the ball. And Alex is saying they're always available for both players. And they're my type of players. They can both run, have good vision, have good awareness. They know what's around them, and I think they've complemented. I think Connor so far this season. So yeah, so I'm happy with our midfield. I'm happy with how things are going in that department. And I just think that some of the boys are obviously a little bit frustrated they're not playing. Everyone wants to play every part of every game, but a lot of the players, it's a big jump for them as well. So they've got to understand they're going to have to get used to the level. We decided that when you look at Cundoy and you look at Alex Dyer and you look at Connor Smith, they're the 3 most experienced for levels. They've all played in the league. You know, they've all done a bit, and that's probably where I've gone to that sort of selection rather than a child. And even a Green who's an experienced player, but when it comes to league experience, they're the 3 that have it.
And just finally, obviously we're the only National League game on tomorrow. Is it even more of a chance for other clubs to have a look at us and what we can do?
Yeah, they've got the researchers, they've got everything's in place. You can watch everything on so many different platforms. You know, there's this highlight show that's be on BT as well. So you know, everyone does their work at this level. So it's it's part of being a very good league, and I think the league's it's been good. I think some of the games have been really good. When I look back at the games, you know, even the Stockport game, the intensity of it, the games we've been involved in have been good games to watch. So I think they've been entertaining. We just got to make sure we keep on the right end of the results, which is us hopefully picking up points.
Cool, brilliant. Well, thank you for your time, Dean, and thank you for your questions as well, Jacob. And we'll see you later this week for our press conference ahead of the Hayes and Yeading FA Cup qualifier on Saturday.